My name is Johnny Watt, and I'm going to show you how to change disc brakes. The tools you're going to need to change disc brakes are work boots, safety glasses, sockets if you're using an impact gun, which you'll need an air hose too, and brake lubricant. The first thing you're going to want to do is put your jack underneath the car and lift it up in a sturdy spot, which I'm using the axle as my sturdy spot to get the tire off the ground. And put a jack stand underneath the frame and lift it up to keep you safe so it can't fall. Move it off, and if it's too smooth, then there's nothing for the pads to grab onto. So this is what we're going to be fixing today. The next thing you want to do is take this caliper off. And to take the caliper off on this old truck, you have to take this bolt out, which will make this piece come off, and this pin right here you just pull out and the caliper just falls right off. Once you get the caliper off, just place it up here because you don't want it to hang by this hose because it's made of rubber and you can tear the hose and then you'll have to replace the hose. So what we did was cleaned up this edge. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like lines going this way. So now there's something more for the pads to bite onto. And now we throw out the old pads, but now we got these, and see that's the wear indicator. So when this line gets down to here, that means you need to change the pads because then it's not going to stop your vehicle. So what you want to do is grab your brake lube, which this is brake disc quiet, which means it's gonna help make it not squeak, which is the point of lubing it. And you're gonna put it right here. This is where the pad slides back and forth, right here and right here. And also on, I gotta clean this out, the piston's bore, which is right here on the top of the piston, and the back edge of here. All these surfaces touch the brake pads, and if you lube them good, then it's gonna stop squeaks. What I do is just put a little on my finger, just rub it on there, make sure it gets all the way across. Like that, so the pads will slide nice. Also back here and right here on the edge of this piston. Put more on the piston. See? Just like that. I don't know if you can see that. No, not really, but there's some right there on both sides. So just there, the piston and the slides. What you want to do is grab your brake pads, and you want to make sure that they're clean. Make sure there's no grease or dirt on there. So you can wipe them off with a rag, but these are okay. And for this one, you want to grab this pad and put it inside, right there on the caliper. Just like that. And then grab the inner one. See? Plenty of heat on there. You want to just make it so it's facing this way, kind of with the rotor. See, the shape's the same. And it just kind of falls together right there, up against the rotor right there, so it's holding tight. All I want to do is just slide the caliper right over. It's right there. Then sometimes you can get some stuff. See, if you turn the rotor, there's some brake lube on there, and there's a little right there on the brake pad. So I'm gonna make sure that there isn't that, because you need to wipe it off. Because on the brake pad there's tiny micro holes, and if there's a little bit of grease or whatever, like right there, that will get into those tiny holes and will get in between the brake pad and the rotor and could cause your vehicle to not stop correctly. So that would be a very bad thing, because obviously the point of changing brake pads is to stop the vehicle. I wiped it off. See? Nothing there. So I slid this pin back in. You just push the caliper on, but you just slide this pin back in where it goes, and then there's the hole, right? Whatever, you can't see it. It's right there. Just screw that back in. Once you get it all tightened up, you can take these back off, but that's a tip. When you take these off and the wheels off and over to the side, put the lug nuts back on, because you're going to kick them around on the floor and lose them, and obviously you need them, so you don't want to lose them. So your brakes should be all set now. And now we'll put the tire off. If you're using an impact gun, make sure that you thread this on by hand a little bit, because some people just put the lug nuts into the socket of the impact gun and just gun them on, and then it gets all cross-threaded, and it's just a pain in the neck. So there's a dial on the back of this one. See the arrows, lefty and righty? Make sure it's turning the right way, because if you have it turning to lefty, which is obviously loosening them, it's just going to take it off. And that's annoying. So turn it to the right, and I basically just go until the socket stops moving, then you know they're nice and tight. And make sure you go in a star pattern, so start with this one, then go to this one, then that one, this one, that one, just like a star, or that way, whichever way you want to go, it doesn't matter. But you do it in star pattern so that you know that the rim is on straight. I like to go around twice just to make sure that I got all of them, because if one's loose, then obviously it's not good. That's good. Now the tire's on, and hopefully the brakes work. If they don't work, then you did something wrong. And yeah, so now we got to put the jack down. We'll put the car back down on its wheel. So make sure everything's out of the way. And you can put this jack down, put it to the side.